Well, good morning, everybody. Let's get back on our straw fork restoration here. Now, it's been soaking in vinegar for a little over a week. Been scrubbing it down. Finally got the rust off of it. Now, this handle, this end here is rusted so bad I'm gonna have to cut it right about here, because I don't think we can save that. Now, this middle tine is bent. You can probably see it. I'm going to heat it up just a little bit to be safe and straighten it out right quick. And then we'll turn our attention to the handle. Now, this is fairly thin, so it won't take a lot of heat. And it don't need to go to the forest, put it that way. Shouldn't take but a minute. There we go. It's not exact, but as old as this thing is and thin, I think we should leave it alone right there. Looks much better. Now, next step, we're going to cut this off right here over on the power saw and try to dig the rest of this wood handle out. Or see if I can drive it off, because it's pressed on there, I'm pretty sure. But we'll see. Be right back. Alright, got that ragged end cut off. First, I'm going to tap on it with a punch and see if it'll move any. If it won't, we'll start drilling and get it out that way. But if this works, this will be the easiest. I can't tell. It looks like it might be moving. Let's try this side here. No, I don't think so. Let's go this vice over here. Hang on, we're moving. Well, maybe it moved a little bit, but now I'm gonna grab a spade bit for the drill and see if we can't take some of this material out. The metal, I don't know how far it comes up, but if we can get some of the pressure off of the outside, I think it'll maybe come on off of there. I done got my hands dirty. Dang it. Alright, 13/16 spade bit. Okay, found the bottom of it, found the tang right in here somewhere. So that'll take some of the pressure off of the Alright, let's go with a little bit bigger hammer. Bigger hammer always works, right? Okay, I'm messing up the end here, so let's go to a let's go to a different plan. I'm doing take the torch and heat it up in here, see if I can't burn some of that wood down. Not much wood to it. You see that it's just dust. No telling how old this thing is. Alright, I'll bring you back when we got something else to look at. Alright, we're going to heat this with a torch and try to burn this wood up a little bit. Now, one thing that's swollen up now because it has been soaking in that vinegar. Maybe should have done this first, but don't want to get it too awful hot. We need to get that wood broke loose in there. It's going to take a while, so I'll bring you back when I take the channel off and get it, try to pull it off like that. My goodness, that stinks. Now the whole shop's going to stink. But that's okay. Yeah, see that liquid coming out of there? Alrighty, be back in a minute. Alrighty, I got it moving. Hang on. Never mind the camera work. We have hot ash going everywhere. It's moving pretty good. Let's get our turn that torch off for now. Let's get it moved around a little bit. This down. Now after the vinegar stink went away, I can tell this is a hickory handle, probably. There we go. That's what we want to see right there. That's a good idea. Put it down and burn up my table, huh? Alright, let me get all these little hot embers put out here before we set the shop afire. And I hate to open the door to get the smoke out of here because the cool air will go too. Alright, let's take a look. There's the tang that was on there, and once this stops, I think I'll set it outside on a piece of concrete or something. Let that finish burning off and we should be able to knock that right on out of there. Then we will get to how I'm going to gun blue this. Not gun blue it, but rust preserve it. We'll see that in a minute. Alright, here we are. Got all the wood out of there. That's what's left of it. It didn't burn up. I had to sacrifice some cool air out of the shop. It was so smoky in here I had to open the doors for a little bit. But that's okay. Now I'm going to go over to the belt grinder, square this edge here, go to the wire wheel, clean this up really good, and then we'll start working on the handle. And change my mind, I'm going to go ahead and gun blue this. Got to get it all cleaned up real good. Be much easier than what I was going to do. So there we go. Be right back. Now let's get ready to fit this piece to the handle. Now this handle I'm using is wild persimmon that I cut off my property a couple days back. Still green, so if we get it fitted up right, as it dries it will fit tighter and tighter and tighter. I'm using a 1/2 inch spade bit, which is matches the tang on this. Got it marked down here how deep I need to go. I just have to be really careful and try to keep it straight. And that means battery's dead. Let me change the batteries. I think it's, yep, battery dead. Hang on, we'll be back. Now, for good measure, I went just a little bit further. Let's see, we may have to go a little bit, one bigger, a little bit better clearance, because that is exactly right there, because I'm about to drive it in. So 1/2 inch, let's go up one more size and just chase that hole down. Alright, went up to 9/16 and that's going to work. That will drive in there very nicely. Now the next step, we need to taper here in order for this to fit properly. You can do this two different ways. I can take it over to the sander, or we can go old school with the draw knife. Well, let's try it with the draw knife. Okay, let's get all set up. Hang on, let me figure out which knife I'm going to use. Alrighty, let's see if y'all can see. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing here. We'll take our cover here. Make a reference mark right there. There's not a lot that needs to come off of here. What we're gonna do, this is one of my old draw knives. This is a ox head German steel. I've had for years. Somebody messaging me. I'll look at it here in just a minute. First thing I want to do is peel the bark off of here. And the reason I'm not using one of the draw knives that I made, because I don't have one that I made, because I wind up selling them or giving them away. So okay, let's turn that over that way. Get our bark peeled off of there. And I do have a couple of draw knives, old, same age as this bitch, straw fork here. Almost ready after restoration to be on the way out of here. We'll look at those later. So now we're just gonna see how far we can go. I think we're going to be able to make it all the way without shaving anymore. So now we're going to take the handle and orient it to where, let's see if y'all can see what I'm doing here. Alright, I know the camera's all wonky. I got it on the little tripod. Alright, so when you're using it, we've got a curvature here. So we want the top of our tines on the blade oriented right there. And that's important because this is squared here. I straightened it back out to where I messed it up. So we'll set that up here. Alright, let's go back. Well, it's hard videoing this stuff by yourself. Okay, there's our square. So we want that to go like that. Now, like I said, I don't think we're going to have to shave off anymore. We'll take it outside on the front stoop there, which is concrete, and we'll drive it down. Let's get the camera off of here and I'll put it on the big tripod and we'll see if we can't get a look at that. Alright, it's hot. Got it set on there. What we're going to do is just take drive it down that way instead of trying to hit it with something. And we'll put the rake itself in there and do it the same way. You there? Getting close. Little bit more. Very, very close. It's got to go now because it's not coming off. I mean, there we go. That's close enough. Now let's get the well, first we'll take it in there and put a little bit of epoxy in the bottom. I don't want to epoxy the whole thing, just a little bit in the bottom. And we'll put the rake in there. Thank goodness for that little tiny AC. It is hot out here, let me tell you. Alright, got a little bit of epoxy in the hole. Get it started like this. Do the same thing. Might want to wear gloves if you try something like this. Alright, see there, we're flush. There's a few markings on there where I drove it off of there or knocked it off of there, but that's to be expected. Now let's go back inside. We'll let this epoxy set for just a few minutes, and we will tap this down with a hammer, bring it back down flush, maybe even heat it a little bit, and we are almost finished. You could take this to where the politicers live. Alright, enough being silly. Alright, we're going to take the ball peen. Go around, just basically almost like crimping this down to the edge. Yeah, I know I'm hitting the tripod, shaking the camera. Alright, just like that. That handle will not come out. Probably ever. Especially once that epoxy sets down at the bottom there. Now we're going to get the random orbit out. Sand a little bit. Ease these little edges here. I'm going to cut this square at the end. And I do believe the owner is coming over this afternoon, so at first I thought this was going to be for sale, but it's not. He wants to keep it, so I understand it is a antique heirloom type thing. So there we go. We'll take one final look at it here in a little bit. Alright y'all, there we go. Finished and ready to go home. How about that? Not bad, huh? As far as the owner and me, we can guess this is probably at least 100-year-old tool, and he's going to take it back to his farm, and he uses some hay for his donkeys and animals that he has. So there we go. Now in the old days, if a handle broke, they would not go to Lowe's or Home Depot, obviously. Would not go anywhere and buy a store-bought handle. They'd just cut something out of the woods and make it work. And that's exactly what I did with a couple of modern tools. So there we go. Hope y'all enjoyed this. I enjoyed doing it, and I thank y'all very much for watching. I thank you for all the support, and I will see y'all in a couple of days.